Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. I had to take a nice little break from the car from since the last time you watched it. The last video with the rear subframe collars. That thing kind of kicked my butt a little bit. But today I'm back at it. And what we're going to wind up doing is installing the front white line sway bar with the appropriate end links. So that'd be one step closer to getting the suspension uh, built the way that I envisioned it, how I wanted it to be when I first picked up the car and even started researching it. And then the funny thing was, when I first started out, just a backstory real quick, I didn't want to go like all adjustable arms on the car. I wanted to kind of leave it the way it was for a while, because when I picked it up and drove it, the three times that I was able to, before I put it under the knife, it handled really good. It felt really nice and solid. But again, it's one of those things while you're in there, and then also for future things on the build, on what I wanted to do with it. Um, I had to get like, especially the rear end, I had to get that set up with adjustable arms for camber and toe and all of that stuff. And on the front end, it wasn't too much but coilovers. But then I got to doing some research and I got something else that I already have. I'll do that in another video for it. And then sway bars, of course, for the front end. The other thing that I found out from just a little bit of research or whatever is the caster on these R32s, the GTRs. Now I can't really speak too much on the other ones, but R32s they like caster, and you get that set up. It helps the car rotate a lot better. So down the road, I may do that. Right now, I have Nismo arms. Again, man, just looking at this Nismo stuff and the stuff that is from the factory, it doesn't look any different. You know what I mean? So it's like, is it just some shiny paint? They don't look like polyurethane bushings in there. They look like regular bushings. Some of the stuff may look like the upper rear control arm. If I pull it out, I'll show you guys in another video. Talk about it more. It looked like it has some reinforcements, but it didn't look anything special. So, anyways, long story short, I got the front caster rods on it that a Nismo came with the car. I didn't spend the money on it. So I think down the road, once I get the car out on the track and driving it, spirited driving, and see how it feels, I may opt for adjustable caster arms just to give it to help it rotate even better. But like I said, right now I'm just going to leave it the way it is and go from there. So course of action today is, like I was saying, just go ahead and get the front sway bar done up from Whiteline. And let me turn the camera around and see. I got the car up in the air, of course. Got the lights off because it's nice and hot the way that I like it, actually. So you can kind of see it a little bit better. But anyways, where is it? So you guys have a picture of it, reference. So there is, get a pretty good job of that. There's the part number. And I'll make sure to put that in the link of the description. Again, if for some reason you just want to do a rear sway bar and then, test it out on how it feels with the factory rear, that's the part number once again. I said I'll put that in the description. So go ahead, I'm going to take that out. Just want to talk to you guys real quick, and then I'll set the camera and stuff up, because this isn't too bad of an install, hopefully. Doesn't supposed to be anyway. So these are the adjustable links that you get from Whiteline. You can see the adjuster nut, lock nut right there. So those come with that kit. I got the rear bar back there sitting, and once I get it out, get this one out of the bag, I'll pull it back there and then show you guys what's all going on. So of course, get the car up in the air. Your sway bar, both sides of the front subframe, it sits here uh, with your brackets. I took them out, cleaned them up. There was a lot of grease and stuff on it. So anyways, yeah, that sits there on both sides. And it's just pretty much the setup for the front is actually I think the easiest front sway bar I've ever taken off of a car. Kind of see right here. Get this thing in focus. There we go. So right here, it goes through the subframe on the back side. So it actually sits in there like that. Um, but this, anyways, it's a nut. It should be a 14 millimeter socket to get that off of there, and then there's a bolt because there's a nut tacked in on the bottom side. I actually got the car up. I don't know if you can see it, but right there, right there is a nut welded. There you can kind of see it now. There's a nut welded in, and that's a 14 as well. So 14s for that, and then here on your in-link nuts, those look like they are 16s or 17 millimeters, and actually it shows up really good on the camera. Stop moving, try to stay still. They are a lock. They're a lock nut. They don't have the nylon lock nut, but these are like a lock nut. And you can tell by the oblong shape of the hole. So once those get snug up, they're not going to back out on you, go anywhere. The other thing that I noticed, I better tell you guys as well. This is very important. Here, it comes with two washers, nice thick washers. Well, anyways, when you're installing this on the car, and I'll go over it again once it's all done. When you're installing it on a car, let me go over to the knuckle. All right, so here, your knuckle, and that's where your link is going to go through from the one side. Trying to do that. And there we go. So it's going to go in from there like that. And I'll probably pop this one wheel off so you guys can kind of see what's going on too. There we go, focus. So that goes through there, but you can see it's got a lot of slop. Not a lot of slop, but it's got some slop. So what you actually got to do is this cannot go all the way through. You got to put your washer on like that, and then this goes through your sway bar, and then this goes over it. And like I said, I'll talk about it more once it's up in the car. So yeah, that's that. Let me go ahead and get the camera situated a little bit better. I'll go ahead and pop the one wheel off so you guys can see at a better angle as well, me working on it. Um, so you kind of get a feel for the job if you decide to do this to your 32 Skyline. So hold tight. All right, guys. Let me go ahead and show you the sway bar comparison between the factory and the Whiteline. So of course the black bar is your factory bar. And again, just like the rear, the front is hollow. The Whiteline, solid bar. Um, bends a little bit tighter again, right in here. Here I haven't pulled off yet, so I don't know if the bends are any tighter, but it looks like it is in this area as well. It is, I don't know if the camera can really show it, but the factory bar is a little bit smaller than the Whiteline. The Whiteline isn't like 50 times bigger, but it is slightly larger. Let's see if we can show, if you guys can kind of see it in the camera. I wish you could, but yes, it's an increase. It's significant, but it's not super large. Um, I know some of the Japanese companies, in particular Cusco, because that's the brand that I was looking at and I was contemplating on going with. The Cusco front bars are like three, well, depending on which one, because Cusco actually they have a couple of different sizes, but the ones that I was eyeing up was like a 3 millimeter difference in the front and like a 5 millimeter difference in the rear. That probably would have been way too stiff for what I want to do with the car, the experience that I want to have with it. All out track car or whatever, that probably be more than enough for those people. But just for me, it'd have been too much. So these should give me a nice sporty upgrade on what I already had. Won't know until I get the car back on the road, which every day, man. It's like, but I got such a laundry list that I set up for myself on this car, just because before I put it on the road, I want to try to get as much done to it, just not done, but the correct upgrades as well, so I can reap what is the word that I'm looking for? Um, man, I do this every time I get on camera. Reliable, fun. I'll put it that way. So I want it to be reliable and fun. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead set the camera up, so I can get a feel. I said I pulled the one. Well, actually, I wound up pulling both sides off, and once I'm done this, I'll show you why. It's something that I remembered. But anyways, I got the wheels pulled off now, so I can get even better access, and you guys can kind of see me at work. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up real quick and jump right back on. Also, guys, in the kit, um, just like in the rear, hold on, over here. Hold on real quick. Just like in the rear, it comes with new debushings. And let me get this open. I'll show you what a debushing is for people that don't know. So this is your debushing. So it comes with new ones, of course, because of the increase in diameter. So it comes with those. It also comes with very important instructions. And just as important, again, you got to have your lubrication and all that you do. So it comes with lubrication, so you can go ahead and lubricate these up so it doesn't squeak, squeal, make a lot of weird noises, and also kind of helps these bushings live a good while. So once you're ready to go up in place, first thing you want to do is get all your hardware set up, get all that stuff out of your way. One over there, one over there. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and lube up my bushings, my D-rings. And actually on the inside of these D-rings, they're knurled. So it kind of actually is made to help grip the bar a little bit, so you don't have to go too crazy. It felt like a graphite paste actually. Some other bushing companies that I've used was more like a polymer grease. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking it's a graphite paste just because of the color. Actually, it smells like freaking axle bearing grease, CV joint grease. That's probably what it is. It can't be all that much difference. Alright. Now I got that nice and lubed. Get a nice rag. So then I got a million of these things. Alright. Go ahead and put this over your bar. Just like that. Both sides. Alright. Once you got that set up, you can go ahead and get this bar in position. And if you're like me, even though you probably never see it again, I don't want to get it all scratched up and stuff, even if it's dragging on the ground. So I'll leave these on until it's up in place, and then I'll snatch that off of there. So goes those plans, guys. Gotta rip this off there. So what's actually holding me up on this side is the power steering line. It has a pressure sensor built into it. So it looks like I gotta undo it and reattach it once I'm done, but it's like binding me up. And I'll show you the sensor and the line once I'm done getting the bar up in place. All right, guys, so I got it up in there. Um, One thing you probably see me doing, and actually what I struggled with getting it up in there the first time is actually I had it turned around the wrong way. So I'll show you guys the proper orientation for that as well. Um, if I would have helped, if I would have, when I took this off, I would have been putting it right back up in there. But it's been almost a year since I I actually had this thing down. So, anyways, I'll go ahead, get everything tightened up, and then I'll show you guys what the end results look like when you're all said and done. All right, so hold tight. All right, guys, got the sway bar up in there. Move that out my way. Let's show you guys what we got going on. I was fighting it, like I was saying, just because I had it orientated the wrong way. So it makes sense when you're doing it on the car. So when you got your sway bars, and it's the same for left, uh, for the front and rear. Um, this label here that's on the bars, make sure it's on the passenger side, the left-hand side of the car. That's going to make life a lot easy. Uh, Two important notes that you got to do when you're setting up the sway bars, especially when it's in relations to these adjustable links. They're not necessarily just adjustable because of this car. I think they use them on multiple cars, so you got to be able to get the length right. So that's what these really are. Let me show you. Yep. Don't lose that washer. But you can see here, that's the adjustment. That's the lock nut. So I gotta set that up for the other side yet. So when you're going to set this up, what you want is to get the length where the bar itself isn't all the way up in position to where it's loaded. So you want to kind of have it leveled out to where it's not loaded. And what you want to do when you're setting these links up is the factory links, which are fixed, you kind of want to get them close to the same length as those. And actually, while we're talking, it won't hurt just to go over there and show you. So these are your factory links. Like I said, they're fixed in length. You can see they're not adjustable. And then you have these guys, which are adjustable. So you want to kind of get them close to that as possible. And then once you have that set, you also want to preload the suspension, just to make sure you got your measurement right. And that's pretty much what I've done here, is I preloaded with the jack, block of wood on the lower control arm. So now I know I got that preloaded right, and this is sitting pretty much right. I can go ahead and tighten that side down. So I'll go ahead and do that. The other thing is, you guys can see this. I gotta put that back up. But anyways, that's the bar, and then it's supposed to go around the oil pan. So there you go. Now you can see it. See how it comes down, goes back up, and it actually ducks. As I was saying, I was gonna show you guys that. Is it too dark? That right there. See it? Right below the alternator. This is a power steering, high pressure sensor line. I thought was in my way, but it really wasn't. But I'm glad I did loosen it up. I just gotta tighten that. It's a bracket, like right there. You can see me wiggling it. That bracket holds it onto the subframe. But anyways, it's on. It's in position like it's supposed to be. Like I said, the main thing you want to look for when you do it is going to be how it goes underneath the oil pan, and then make sure that label is on the passenger side, left-hand side of the car, front and rear, and you're fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and button this all up, and then we're done. While I'm still filming, do it real fast to show you the other thing that I was talking about for this side, while I wound up popping the wheel off. So I wound up popping the wheel off because I totally forgot that I didn't have the washer over here on this axle. And it's important because it gives the correct spacing, and you can actually put the correct torque and all on the axle nut, so you don't have problems in the future. Here's the right part number for that. If some way, somehow, your car is missing it, and I'll make sure to put this in the description as well. But if your car is missing that, because what I wind up doing, the parts diagram is a little complicated to follow, so I wind up ordering the wrong washer the first time. You can see it goes in just like that. Yeah, I ordered the wrong one, and it's two different sizes that goes on the front of this car. So that's in there. So I'll make sure to put the description of all the parts in there as well. And that's pretty much it. So just got to go ahead and tighten up the sway bar links on both sides, and then put the car back down on the ground. Go through some other things. While I'm on this side of the car, here, finally pulled the harness back through, got it routed. Now, of course, it doesn't sit like that. You can see I got these D-rings, and I actually nut-serted the car before I started doing body work. So it's even easier. You don't have to worry about tracking down stupid clips with them coming loose. That's tight. That ain't going nowhere. And then I'll wind up zipping this to that. That ain't going to go nowhere. And that's going to pull it. You see how far away that's going to be. So I got that back in, and I actually got the fuse box mounted back in place, nice and clean and tight. So it's getting there. All right, guys. So that's pretty much going to be it for today. Hope you guys are enjoying the content as much as I am enjoying finally getting to work on this car and getting it back together as much as the budget allows for this year at least. But yeah, anyways, it's been a treat. And hope, like I said, you guys stay blessed, stay encouraged. Love you guys. Till the next time. Peace.